the case when you don't have intro music like I don't. You don't know when you're live until you know. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to say hi to Lady Mist, James, and of course our panelists. We're gonna have, the first time we ever had more than two guests on at the same time. As you know, the last time we had guests, we had Zanzortan and Raquel SSG 2211. This time we got an all-star panel. So without further ado, I'm just gonna hit the check boxes, and I want to say greetings to the pop culture mechanic. And so the first person I invited, we got Jason Fox from 542 Studios. How you doing, brother?
There we go.
There we go. We got him right. Yeah, greetings.
No, unfortunately, I had echo because apparently I had your stream on the other end.
Oh yeah. I get that like 5 second delay
but I'm doing
routine.
pretty well, man. Doing pretty well. I slept most of the day to be here, and I'm excited. We're gonna have a good, fun show. So I have my coffee ready.
Oh, good.
I have the energy up. So, and we have Cash Money here, of course. But who cares about that guy? He complains about women all the time. That's why he never gets anything.
Well, I appreciate you all responding to my late invite. I appreciate you, Jason, for accommodating the remainder of these rabble rousers. And how you doing, Cash?
I'm doing good. I think Jace is living in his fantasy world again, but it's all right.
I always do, baby.
And we got Mike Pacific 414 here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for also dropping in on such late notice, as well as you, Baron, who I notified like yesterday, I believe, or maybe the day before. So I want to thank you both. So
not a problem.
Yeah. Happy.
I want to say hi to Larry Maglio in the chat here. Larry Maglio from, I believe he's from New York, if memory serves me right. I kind of know this guy. Yeah. I mean, you guys know about the shadow ban situation on Snowdub channel, right? Where like I can't send messages under DJ Ronnie G, so I have to log in under my government name, as they say in the hood. My government name. That's literally a term, but. And so, I'm actually, that's my pops. Yeah. So, just like how you, Baron, you have old man showing up in your chat. I got my pops in the chat right here. So that's my pops. Say hi to my dad,
Hey, Dad.
Hi, Father.
Whoa. Come on. Hey, Pops, how you doing?
You can adopt a father. I mean, I don't know if he'll send you Christmas presents, but you can try to adopt, but I got like a short list of things, but I think we're gonna roll with it. What do you guys have on your mind? Everyone at once.
That's not a good idea.
I like turtles.
I mean, turtles are really, the fact that Jason's a top, that's frightening, but that's that's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. Let me put you in the right spot. I'm sorry, Baron. I almost forgot.
That's perfect. That's better. Yeah. Mike.
Yeah, it fits better that I'm over. It fits better that I'm over Mike, because I've said this multiple times. I will say it here too. We need to get him to 600 subscribers so I can tattoo Pacific 414 on my thigh.
Yeah.
Please don't, Jace. Please don't.
He's gonna do it on the inner thigh, so his getting rubbed against it all day.
Oh God.
Jeez, Baron.
Well,
this isn't Pop Talk. This is DJ show. Have some respect.
I'm sorry. I'm so very, very sorry.
You should be sorry.
I am a sorry salt.
So last week we spoke about 10-foot aliens in the Florida Mall. This is not a topic I want to revisit, but it was kind of coincidental with a list. But have you guys heard about the 10-foot aliens in the Florida Bayside Mall?
I haven't.
No.
I'd seen a blurry video where people were saying, "Oh yeah, that's an alien." It's like,
isn't it funny?
How can you tell? How can you tell?
It was LeBron James.
Yeah, and like me,
China James.
Yeah, right. And like for me, who's been working with films and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of funny that all this alien stuff and all that. Why do you always have a blurry camera and blurry here and there, and you can't really see? It's like we have good cameras these days with 4K quality. Your phone has 4K quality. It's like, do I have to? Is your cameras and phones from China, like the cheap knockoff Chinese phones or cameras?
I think mine's Vietnamese.
James is right. It's Florida. It might be all that swamp gas.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yep,
it is. That was so funny too. If you guys saw that, what happened with that mall or something, and it claimed it was like an alien, but it was actually just two kids or some kids that had a fight or
And then
whatever.
they have to blur it out so they can make it look like it's something.
Yeah,
bigger.
I was like, yeah, right. We will have
Uh,
aliens there in the mall there. Yeah, right. And
Well, you know what? Everybody needs a Mrs. Fields cookie every now and then.
Well, yeah. I mean, why should we deny those poor extraterrestrials? I mean, honestly, they want stuff. They need
Look, I
stuff.
can guarantee you, aliens. They like, oh, we're here. Oh no, we're out. No, we're done.
well,
This
let's
place is too
let's say the
crazy.
fact here. Yes, there were aliens at the mall because we live in space. We are aliens.
Mhm.
Oh, great.
Eric,
Oh, come on. Way to attempt deep thinking. But it's just like I watched Live PD to see if on Patrol Live, I should say, sorry, to see if Cash is in Fullerton. Now I'm going to have to watch it
sometimes
to
I
see
have to check
in Polk
my
County to see
my drug
yeah.
houses. So those drug houses
Yeah.
got to get checked in Fullerton.
But
Well, that's what I think.
now I got to
It's
watch
New
it
Year's
for the
Day.
Polk County. See if they have aliens. Aliens.
But I mean, it's New Year's Day. People are hungover. Maybe they're stoned. So I mean, who
Yep.
knows? But I mean, there's a comic book store where there's a guy wearing stilts promoting comics. So maybe they were seeing that. And anyway, I don't know what to make of it. But like, there's so many possibilities. It could be kids rioting because there was an enormous police response. I'll say that. And it's not like necessarily a topic I want to dwell on heavily, but like there was an enormous police response. But I don't like the people like, oh, because we don't have evidence of kids fighting. Well, this other thing is perfectly plausible. I think that's like a bit of a leap. Sort of like climate stuff. And James says the only media from Florida, I believe, is the Polk County Sheriff's channel, which is Sheriff Grady. He sometimes comes up on my algorithm, and he's usually like going over some crime, like some guy's wife gets like killed, or some guy kills somebody, or whatever. Like it's kind of interesting. But he seems like a fairly reputable guy, and we should say hi to Zanzeltan in the chat, who was one of the two guests we had last week.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good time. So anyway, what's on your mind? Let's see here. I'm gonna go in order here. Jason Fox, you were the first person I invited. You got anything on your mind today? Anything concerning, scary, frightening, or cool?
Well, that you're handsome in what you're wearing, I think that's pretty hot,
Well, I'm flattered. To hear that from a guy with a Norwegian accent is super flattering. It's like 30 degrees outside. I got my window wide open because apparently this thing retains a lot of heat. This is actually part of a surprise that's planned. I hope it's next Wednesday, but it might be this Wednesday. I really should check my messages and see if I'm required to be ready for this Wednesday. But essentially, Wilton, the troll from Under a Rock, you're familiar with the puppet guy, who's associated with Punkwaddle. Well, Wilton's birthday is coming up, and so for Wilton's birthday, I'm gonna, surprise him with a special costume, and so, a while back, we discussed like the time I was wearing the Mrs. Flu mask, where I basically taped a felt mask that made me look like Mrs. Flu. So imagine like just a circular object that looks like, I have it right here. I got like an elastic band, an underwear band. I bought fresh elastic bands, so I don't have to use these anymore. But you put it on the face, and then I would tape the chin to my jaw.
Yeah.
And it would move like I look like a Canadian from South Park.
Either that or HR puffin stuff, I tell you.
Oof. And that's a good time. So anyway, at round of the time, we brainstormed an idea for a robot suit made of cardboard where you would wrap foil. But the idea has evolved into something a bit more, less ghetto, I guess you could say, not involving cardboard boxes. So all I know is I have a deadline, and it's either this Wednesday or next Wednesday. I'm assuming it's this Wednesday, just so that I don't procrastinate and so that I'm ready. So that gives me tomorrow night to basically do all of the gluing, cementing, and stitching. But I sure hope it's next week. But if not, keep an eye on my community posts because, this applies to everyone in the chat. I will drop a link to Baron's. I'm not Baron. Also, we'll get your link out at some point. But I will drop a link to Floral channel in the chat because this is part of the suit. The idea is that, I would wear this as the base layer, and then you would put like something like foam or Mod Podge or foil or cardboard over this to give it more substance. You know, maybe
Yeah.
put some like fake cabling on here, like a robot or a Zaku. You know, like how does Xeon Zaku, who's invisible on camera right now, you know, he has like maybe some tubules coming out the arm going
Yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah,
elbow or
yeah.
some crap like that. So that's like the rough idea of what we have in mind of there. But I do appreciate the compliment on the attire. I'm only gonna wear it for like 10 more minutes before I, you know, break too much of a sweat. I mean, like this window is wide open right now.
Mm.
And how about you, Cash? What's up with you? What have you been doing? Have you been doing anything with the Phantom Hooligans lately?
Not in a few weeks.
No,
because
he's
I've
been
been
busy
sick.
he's been busy
I've been
with
sick.
Assassin's Creed flu.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
pretty
Things
recent.
are like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I think I either got COVID or something, but yeah, it was bad for a few weeks. But yeah, my
You
routine
sound
is getting
better.
back to normal. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, played a really good demo recently called Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which is pretty cool. And
Oh, really? What's it about?
it's a JRPG. It's a Japanese
yeah.
RPG fantasy game that
Does it look
starts
like
with this
90%
character
of
Grant.
does it look
Yeah,
most of
the
them?
combat is a lot of fun, but
Okay.
unfortunately, it's one of those things where the PC gamers get screwed again because they don't get the demo, but PS4 and PS5 do.
Oh, yeah,
I
it's that
know,
BS.
it
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that sucks.
Does it
Yeah.
come
These
with a
days,
9 iron?
with modern world of gaming.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then I'm getting back into some of these graphic novels that I haven't finished, and I'm just
Yeah, what have you
about
been
done
reading?
with
That's what I've been wondering.
Nightwing. I'm reading about the rise of Nightwing, and
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
having my friend tell me what happened to him in 52s, and I was like, what the fuck? Really,
Yeah.
it's just like
52
why are we
destroyed
doing
a lot
this?
of things.
My
52
gosh,
did.
it's terrible because Nightwing is pretty cool, and
Hmm.
Dick
Yeah.
Grayson, you know, I mean,
Yeah, Dick Grayson
where
is an
can you go
amazing
wrong?
character.
Yeah.
But again, DC in a couple of years they don't respect characters anymore. That's a sad part. You have all these
Mhm.
great characters that we grew up with and love, and to people who want to get into it, it's just like you catch certain comics you haven't read, and
Mhm.
suddenly you get to know what happens in a more modern comics, and just like
Yep.
what the fuck's going on. It makes no sense to anything
Yep.
else. It's just like same with Tim Drake. A lot of us we love Tim Drake. He's one of our favorite Robins out there, and they just made him to a
Yeah,
bisexual
he's
gay
pretty cool.
character.
Yeah, it's
He's like,
ridiculous, but I also want to say hi to Zan and Lady Mist and
Mhm.
Anna. Hope you guys are all
yeah,
doing.
yeah. Hail to
Yeah.
Anna, my beautiful love out there.
Yeah, no, just going back and reading these X-Men comics, and just because at the time I wasn't all that interested in it, but I did watch the animated shows and I did watch the movies, and
Mm.
but going back to this stuff now and seeing what's happened to it is just it
That's
sucks.
heartbreaking in a way. If you think about it in that way,
It
it is
is.
heartbreaking.
It
It's like
is.
you go back reading the old comics and stories, and then you see how all the characters are treated now, and it's just like, why? Why did you have to destroy this legacy,
Mhm.
amazing characters that we cherish and love? And
Yes.
just because getting plot points, with it has to have the check box, it has to be like this, it
Mhm.
has to be like that. It's like, no, dude, just keep respect for the characters and what we love. If you want to have, if you want a new Robin in your goddamn story, make a new Robin, a new character who's gay. Then just do that instead, and just
Right.
make the character good. Good
Exactly.
writing.
I thought that was Jason Todd.
Eh,
Ah!
yeah, so
Nobody
and
liked Jason Todd.
it's also been fun to be on and talking with Baron and Mike and Crit and Phil about Babylon
Yeah.
5, and I think
Yo.
once again it's like I would love
Yeah, I
us.
hate you guys because of that. Because I want to watch
What?
it now.
It's just
Oh,
it's
I want to
so
watch
oh,
it now. I have more on my
there's so
list.
much goodness in there, and it's like
yeah.
I wish somebody would say, you know what, with Star Wars, this other sci-fi, I would love if somebody brought back Sliders and so on. Even there was some sci-fi and stuff like
Oh.
The Librarians. That's actually a
Mhm.
pretty good show too.
Yeah.
I would like Haven. I've watched some of Haven before. That's pretty good. I don't know why sci-fi just keeps getting pushed along, and it's like, oh well, if it's not Star Trek and if it's not Star Wars, then it really doesn't matter to a lot of people. That's not true, though.
Well, that's been how it was for a long time. Then we had that little burst of science fiction during the '90s and '90s and into the
Mm.
2000s, where we had a nice little run of science fiction and fantasy shows, and then it just went into dumb city. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when you had Farscape, you had, of course, the
Yeah.
various Stargate shows.
Mm.
Um, the
So
one with the
around
big
that time, we had
dragonfly.
Farscape, Dragonfly, Lex. I loved Lex. Oh my god.
Lex. Yeah. Well, I
That
liked the
show was
first two
amazing.
seasons. When they got to, the movies, the 4 movies were great. I thought that season afterwards was great, but when they started getting to the last 2, it started getting, I don't know, I started losing it then. But yeah, it was a great show. It was a great
Yeah.
show.
How many
combination between-
seasons are there actually? Like how much
Of
content is
Lex?
there about Babylon 5? That's something I wonder how
Oh,
much
5
content.
seasons.
5 seasons.
And that's not counting the 4 movies, not counting the pilot
Right, the
movie,
movies, yeah.
and not counting the various stuff afterwards,
Mm.
like Crusade, Legend of the Rangers,
Yeah.
Tales, the Lost Tales, and of course
Yeah,
the
yeah.
new
Mhm.
animated movie.
Yeah. Now, of course, I have been watching your guys' show, and of course, a lot of stuff is spoiled for me in a sense. But I don't mind spoilers, and because of all the spoilers that I've seen and stuff you guys have talked about, have made me feel like I really want to really go into this universe and learn more about it and watch it and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame it doesn't get more attention than it has.
Yes,
But there were
yes.
people at Warner Brothers that didn't like that show, particularly
course
because it was
not.
part of the Primetime Entertainment Network. Anything that was
Yeah.
on there, whether it was the Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, what
Hmm.
was that? Time Tracks. That was a Harv Bennett show, and that was on P10. But no, you don't see any of those shows popping up anywhere either because, well, I don't know. They wanted to treat it like the redheaded stepchild type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
To any you redheadeds out there, I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.
I'm so
Well,
sorry.
Have you read the JMS, the book written by John Michael Straczynski? His biography, I believe it was titled "Becoming Superman" or something like that. He talks about
Joe Straczynski?
yes, Joe. I said John. Yeah. So he talks about the tail end of Babylon 5, and in particular Crusade, and how and why that turned out the way it did. He talks
Yeah.
about receiving notes from the studio in which they would insist on basically taking a specific direction or making changes. For example, one of the characters was an alien who was a really good pickpocket. I mean, that wasn't necessarily a pickpocket, but Dorina as and they wanted her to be like this crazy sex freak who they wanted contradictory stuff out of the character that would just make it schlocky. And it was almost like from his perspective, like they were pushing it to fail. Like they didn't really want to give it a solid chance. Would you agree, or would you have a different interpretation, Baron?
Well, I would sit back and say, because going through that time and going through what he was talking about to us, and because we were all following everything along with the Lurker's Guide to Babylon 5 and his various posts that he had. And as he sat back and said, because he said the last season of Babylon 5 was great. TNT was wonderful. They left him alone. But when they went to do the Crusade, it went to a different division of TNT. And that's when they started getting involved. And they wanted to have more action. They wanted to have, they wanted to try to get wrestling stars in it because they had wrestling on there. So, and it's like they were wanting to do all this gimmick crap, which he didn't want to do. They stopped the show after so many episodes. Did costume change. They did some set changes, made things look even prettier, which is why they have the 2 uniforms. And then there was all the notes in JMS basically said, "Screw you guys," and it was DOA. I mean, it was canceled before it was even aired, and it's a crying shame because even with the changes they did with TNT, it was still a great show, and I think it would have eclipsed Babylon 5. I honestly do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when Matthew Gideon and it was a great commander. It's like, God, why wasn't he? If he had to replace anybody on Babylon 5 for a commander, he would be what's his name again? Gary
Matheson, the first officer.
Oh,
Daniel
Matheson,
Day Kim.
Daniel Day Kim, he was in so many things, Lost, and yeah, he's all Hawaii
Lost,
5-0.
Hawaii 5-0.
Star
Yeah.
Trek Voyager.
Daniel Day Kim also popped up in, had a small role in Spider-Man 2.
And I
Right.
also see Whoopa Troopa is in the chat here. Hail
Whoopa,
to
Yeah.
Whoopa.
Yeah.
Whoopa!
And the thing about Matheson, you know, when he got the part, the name was already, they didn't have anybody in vision for the part. And they hired Daniel Kim, and J. Michael Straczynski wanted to change the name. And it's like, no, keep Matheson, which is a name of a famous science fiction author. You know, I Am Legend. He wrote that book. And he said, you know, at that time, it doesn't matter because, you know, with everybody going around, why wouldn't someone of Asian descent have a name like this? I mean, so, you know, that was his little influence on there, which is why he was still continued to be named that and that wasn't renamed. But, you know, from Office Space, what the hell is his name? Yeah,
Gary Cole.
Gary Cole?
Gary Cole. Yeah,
Oh,
Gary
he's
Cole
been in
as
a
the
lot of
captain.
stuff.
Yeah, but him as the captain was great. Absolutely fantastic. And if they needed a new commander for Babylon 5, he should, you know, he should have been Sinclair. Honestly. Nothing against the late Michael O'Hara, but just you watch the guy and how he acts and how good he is.
And it's something something I really wonder, like for all of you guys who are more into the Babylon 5 world than me, of course. How do you feel about reboot/remake that is gonna happen? That is gonna be broadcasted on CW.
We don't know if it's
actually a thing? Yeah, we don't know.
It was rumored at one time that it was going to happen, and then things have been delayed. I honestly hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I think
talked
if
about
anything,
it last year.
They continue with the animated films, or
Yeah.
if they really want to do a live action movie, that could be really hard because unfortunately half the cast is dead and they have to replace a lot of people, and it would be a lot harder than the voice acting, finding the voice actors. So
oh, nice.
Free movie.
Yeah.
I'm not using it. I already digitized it. Quick, guys.
Come on, guys. Stop the video. Stop the video. Take a picture, screenshot, whatever.
If you are true, Centauri, you will do it. You will do it because you love Centauri.
I feel if they did the reboot and it would happen, I feel like they are gonna destroy the show because again, it is CW, and we've seen what they've done in a couple of years with shows.
Well, Joe Straczynski would have full control over it, and that's kind of his thing. You leave me alone.
Right.
But
let the man have full control over it. Right.
But we don't know if CW is going to be around.
Right. True.
We don't know. And that's the thing.
CW just got bought up by another company or something like that.
Well, I mean, they've always been part of CBS, so
yeah.
Yeah, but CBS. So their rights, they basically, the new company got the CW for nothing.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember there was stuff like that, and I know a lot of other shows have been canceled. I know it's also funny that Superman and Lois got canceled. I was waiting for the cancellations of that show. Yeah. It's like the first season was pretty decent. You know, you saw it was more of an HBO show than CW, and so the first season was pretty decent. But season 2, you know, they started to go more downhill. They became more, you know, the typical CW style with the woke stuff. And,
right. And they could have done a lot of good stuff with, I mean, even
and then they removed cast because they lost money with the show. They lost money, so they removed a lot of the cast. And
they changed characters a lot too. You see,
one of the kids,
in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, but with the Superman and Lois, they changed one of the kids to Superman. You know, one of the kids, they changed the actor. In the third season, they changed the actor for one of the kids, and I'm just like, that's weird because it doesn't feel like the same character anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, they did the same thing with Superboy. They recast the main actor for Superboy way back in the that was in the 90s. I think it didn't start in the 80s. It was in the 90s, but they got rid of the first one. I guess there was money or some BS, and they got another actor in there, and that ran out the rest of that series that they had. It was a good show. It was a good show. That I watched that Superboy show, and it's like, why can't we have shows like that? And too bad that they had to stick with Superboy because of trademarks. It would have been great to that fact that was fully Superman.
They had things going even with Arrow and different stuff, and they were on a pretty good track Flash,
Mhm.
whatever, and then they
Yeah, Flash was good for
changed
like
things.
3 seasons. It's
Yeah,
like
they
3
changed
seasons were pretty
stuff.
good, but
Same with Supergirl. They changed
Mhm.
stuff. Like they had a lot of problems trying to get those villains properly
oh
in
yeah,
Supergirl.
completely.
But
And
then other times when they brought in Lex Luthor, and then they had his
oh, that was
like
so
his
terrible.
sister.
I
It's like,
have to say that was so
you know,
terrible when they had
I
Mhm.
I
the
didn't
Two and
hate
a Half
that,
Men
but
actor, like
you know,
Alan from Two and a
mhm.
Half Men is playing Lex Luthor of all
Yeah, he
things.
was.
And I'm
He,
just like, what the hell is going
Really?
on with
I
this
didn't
casting?
I didn't
Really?
hate it. I didn't hate it, but the
He just
problem
didn't fit
with
the character. I
the
don't hate
problem
it,
with
but it just doesn't fit. It was just like, this is not
Mhm.
Lex Luthor. It's like, what the
the
hell's going on?
the problem with Supergirl is they change the characters. They change Alex, Kara's adopted sister. That she was this badass kind of Scarlet character before. Then
Yeah.
it's like
And
I
I'm gonna
want to
say it
be
like this: the
pregnant. I
first
want to be
season,
this.
yeah, the first season of Supergirl was okay-ish. It wasn't like super woke. It wasn't like overly bad in that kind of sense. It was like
Mhm.
okay, but it's
Mhm.
like a term that I like to say. It's like when they made season 2, that's when stuff started changing and all that kind of stuff. And that's why when I
Mhm.
always say that that's when Supergirl turned gay.
Yeah, it just
That's
Oh.
what happened was when the characters started whining a lot,
oh
and
yeah.
they started going way deep into this politics garbage. It just the
hmm
show was just falling apart and falling
Mhm.
apart and
Yeah,
falling
and I had
apart,
that
and it didn't
superhero who
have that
is
before.
yeah, and they
It
had that
was
Well,
lame.
superhero who's
Yeah.
trans, and they oh, you
Mhm.
have to respect this character because he's a trans kid. It's like,
Yes,
dude,
yes.
I would not care if they just made
Dreamer,
a good
Dreamer,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Dreamer came from
Mhm.
Young Justice, yeah.
but
Mhm.
I wouldn't care if they made a good story around this character. I would not care at all. But it was just
Well,
like it was
the
so
Mhm.
thing
forced
is,
in there.
Dreamer at first was like, you have to care about me because I'm a trans character. I'm
Right.
a
That's
Yeah,
the
trans
wrong
no,
character.
shit.
I want to care
Then
about a
it
character if
became
you have a good
right,
story. That's
exactly.
what.
Then
Yeah,
it became a whole thing where she can see the future, and she was actually helping Supergirl. Well, that's a better direction for a character
Mhm.
because it's not just one dimensional. It's not just, oh, you have to care about this character because it's trans, but that's how
yeah,
they should have
exactly.
started the character in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's just it. You have to like it because they're this. It's like, no,
right.
I want to like the character for who they are. Don't just tell me
Exactly.
I have to like this character.
Give me a reason. Like, give me
You know?
a reason. Why shall I care about this character? Like, why is this character important?
Yes, exactly.
What will this character
Always.
bring to
Yes.
the story?
Yep.
That's some of the most important parts. But in
Well,
these
yeah.
shows, they didn't give us that. They didn't. In a couple, the first stuff in CW, it's Arrow, Flash, and all that. They gave us reasons. They gave
Mhm.
us some reasons why
Yep.
to care about these
No,
characters and all that.
Yes,
But that
yes, they did.
changed over.
Yep.
Even with
guys.
Arrow. Arrow was pretty decent for a while, and then
Mhm.
it changed. You saw the change happening, and a lot of stuff was just like, "What the hell's going on?" One thing I was a little
Mhm.
critical with the Arrow TV show is that he was basically just Batman with the Arrow name. That's basically what it
Mhm.
was in that show. They used Batman's
Well,
storylines on a lot of that, but
well,
it was
he
decent.
he was a little bit like that. That character
Mhm.
was a little bit like that, and
Mhm.
he was
Yeah,
specifically made from the early day to be more of that liberal-hearted super hero that they had out there.
yeah, no, I totally
So,
understand that. I do like Arrow in comics and all that, so I do
oh
understand a lot
yeah,
of stuff like that. But the thing that they used certain storylines that was
Mhm.
not Arrow's story. They actually used some of Batman's stories in
Yeah,
the Arrow
hmm
universe that they did with CW. They actually took
but
Batman's stories, and I'm like, don't do that, man. It's like if you want a Batman show, make a proper fucking Batman show. Easily
right.
said.
What they should
Um,
have done is they should have grabbed that reboot comic series he did in the '80s. When everything was
mm,
kind of getting rebooted at that time because that was an
yeah,
excellent series.
I
They had
totally
that
agree
three
with you
part
there.
miniseries, and then they had that then
Yeah,
it
I
took
totally
off
agree
after that.
there. I totally
hmm
do. But no, you saw the change in Arrow, and suddenly the characters changed, and all the characters around him changed, and
hmm
suddenly we have these multiverses episodes that start to make no effing sense to all of this, and then
Enough
suddenly
of
what?
those.
Yeah, and it was just so funny, suddenly we have Flash, right? We have Flash and
Mhm.
Arrow, and both of them have kids, right, in the show.
Right.
And both of their kids are from the future. So Flash's daughter is apparently a lesbian. That was hinted, and that was like they explained that she's a lesbian. And
Ah.
it's just like, why? Why is that a big thing? Like we don't care. It-
Well,
and
again,
then
they gotta have those check marks.
yes, and
Mhm.
again we have the son of Arrow, Oliver, right? What happened with his son? Oh, he was also gay, and he was also in the future.
Mm.
And I'm just like,
Mhm.
now you're reaching a lot with getting the checkbox on these
Well,
characters. It's just like,
Mhm.
no, no.
And that's what happened with a lot of the CW shows. Supergirl,
did.
Arrow.
Look what they did with
and they didn't need to do
Constantine.
any of that. None of that needed to happen at
No,
all.
it didn't need to be. I mean, I don't know. People remember the big, shocking issues of with Green Arrow when they found out Speedy was a heroin addict and shooting up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there are things they could do and all that. And poor Mike. I mean, poor Mike. You know, you up there, Gummo and Chico up there, and you're not letting Groucho get a word in wise. He's actually acting like Harpo now.
Well, I have really nothing to say about the
Yeah.
CW shows because
Yeah, see
I
that?
haven't
Me
really
too.
watched them.
See,
Like-
you guys just ran over the poor guy, and he's sitting back going, "I want to say something, but you guys are talking about crap."
Yeah.
Then we
really
get
are.
into Mike is really good at dying in games, and I love
He
it.
is. Mhm. Yeah,
Come
how
on,
about-
but
I'm
he
prou-
will-
I
he will
am
find a
proud of
way.
myself because I did beat
How-
War for Cybertron on
Oh, yeah.
hard for the very first time.
You
You
did.
did
I'm
it.
proud
I
of
didn't.
you.
I didn't watch it. Unfortunately, you did get. How many times did you die, man? How many times did you die?
That game, when you put it on hard, oh, it's hard. It is definitely
No, I
hard.
know.
It's supposed to be.
You were having a problem with Megatron when I was watching you. That Megatron one was just.
Yeah.
Parents is sitting there with his Cheetos. He's like, die, 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 die.
Well, there's also a level where the Autobots are in the Decepticon prison camp of Kaon, and you had to fight all these Decepticons in the air and on the ground. And Whoopa was there. He saw me die over and over and over and over.
Oh, yeah,
And it's so
yeah.
funny when you start to get more mad and mad. I loved it. I just
Oh,
hear
I
the
love
gamer
it.
inside of him. You know, Mike. I hear the gamer inside of you when you die. Just like you getting there. You know, the typical gamer boy in there. You know.
He's about to crack, folks. He's about to crack, and there it is.
No,
And there it is.
see,
yeah.
see, you may hear me do the gamer rage. Oh, come on, you lousy piece of beep.
Yes, yes.
But one thing you won't hear is me throwing the controller because I won't do that. You know, the controllers are expensive.
Oh, you
enough.
don't do
I
that
need to-
anymore, you know. You don't have money to
well,
buy
you
new
need-
controllers all the time.
Well, you know what you need. What you
Not
need is one of
cheap,
those
that's
foam
for
of those
sure.
foam things that looks like a controller, and that's what you throw.
No,
And if the cat's bothering you, you throw out the cat. That's what I need to do. Whenever that cat's
Have you guys ever gotten
Oh,
so
yeah,
mad
but-
that you've actually fucked up controllers? Have you guys ever done that?
No.
When I was younger, yes. When I was younger, yes. I got so angry that I did break a controller.
It's possible I might have
No.
thrown a PS4 controller into the wall just to see what would
I-
happen, but you know.
I still have my NES controller right here. I still have my
Nice.
Zapper and NES controller because I take such good care of my gamepads
see?
that they
He's
never
He's a
break.
good guy. He's
The-
not
the
like
only-
us, raging assholes.
Well,
Except the
only
N64
thing
stick is messed up.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I had, because of course I was playing on an old Apple II for my computer game, and of course the Atari 2600. I'd pound the table, the desk, whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know,
that's
I did wear out. I did wear my joysticks out though. I had to get new Atari
Mhm.
joysticks, and I had to get a new
Hmm.
Apple joystick for the games.
yeah.
But that's the only thing I have to sit back. The poor table, however, that table was just getting pounded by me. It's like, sheesh.
Yeah, I do remember my dad got so mad at me because I destroyed so many Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers every time. I was a fucking angry gamer. Like I was hardcore angry. So every time when I was really into the game and I lost, I got so mad. I threw them into the wall and everything. And the funny thing is that me and my dad, we live really far away from
Da da
stores.
da
So-
da 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 da.
So the thing we had to do is that every time I
da.
destroyed a controller, we had to probably drive 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 sometimes, just to get new controllers. So one time my dad said, we are not going to get you a new controller for like 3 months or something, so I couldn't play any games. Because he was so mad that you're destroying them all the time. You are just going to let it be. But I did find out he had an extra controller that he had bought, but he just did hide it from me.
My friends' parents do that. They keep separate gamepads from their kids, so the kids can use these gamepads. So if they mess them up, that's on them. And then
Right.
the mom has her own gamepad, so she never has to tolerate,
Oh,
a
yeah.
joystick that drifts.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
likes joy drift.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
and
I get that.
Whoopa's right. I am determined when I play games.
Oh, yeah.
I don't promise that
Yeah.
you're gonna get these, speed runs or no hit runs or anything like that. what you're going to get when I'm playing a game is me actually going through the game. Even if I've played it before, it may have been a long time since I've played it, but I'm still going to go
Rambo.
through and challenge myself. Yes, I
Yeah.
know I'm guilty of Ramboing it a lot of times.
Mm.
I'm
Oh
not gonna
man,
say
I
sometimes.
Yeah,
remember. I
exactly.
remember when I
Exactly.
first watched Mike playing Tomb Raider. I'm like, Mike, you can't do that with the bow. You can't do that.
You
I'm gonna
can't
do it anyway.
that.
I'm gonna Rambo it. I was like, you son of.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
he
you can't do
he
that.
has a feeling I'm watching his stream for some reason, and he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I know Cash is around. Guess what, Cash? I'm gonna Rambo it. I was like,
Well,
Yeah,
just
no,
like we know when
exactly.
Phil's around and all that.
yeah.
Well, everyone's
Yeah.
talking about temperatures. Let me tell you the temperature we got here. -5, and we have the temperature
Ooh.
with -31 wind chill. So
Ooh,
that's what we have here. Yeah.
Wow.
that's brisk, man. That's brisk.
I'm in a
Yeah.
tropical resort.
I'm used to it. I'm used to the cold,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
I
you
grew up
are,
in the
yeah.
cold. I'm a Norwegian. I'm a Viking, so I'm used to this stuff.
Yeah.
But I just want to finish the story with how I found out how
Fine.
my. I just want
It's
to, before I
about
forget it.
me.
I just want to say because it's really funny. The reason I found out that my dad had a other controller is because when I came home from school, he was playing the goddamn Xbox. And I just stop and I look at him and I'm just like, I fucking hate you, you fucking bitch. I was so mad at him and he's like, okay, but then I got a new controller and it was all fine again. I did fuck up that controller at 1.2, but
Well, what
Well,
breaks on a gamepad to render it unusable? Like, can't you is it what broke? Like, it was seriously like what part stopped working? Like, was it the stick, the buttons?
on a controller I had,
Yeah, like what part
I threw it
stopped
into the
functioning?
wall.
So like the whole thing ceased to function, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
threw it
Well,
hard
that,
into the
a
wall. It
little
was
piece
broken.
here, a little piece there. It's like
Yeah.
shrapnel
Yeah.
coming off the mother.
But at the end,
Oh,
I
yeah,
stopped
that'll do.
destroying my controllers.
You
I
have
just had a
to.
really raging. I was really raging at that time when I play games. You can still hear it
Yeah.
sometimes when I do play
He
games. I will
said-
rage, but
Okay.
He was saying
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. What the hell is bothering me? And then he kept trying.
And I know we got limited time for the show because
Yeah.
DJ's got to get up early in the morning.
Well,
I do
like-
have a special
Yeah.
I'm willing to go into slight extra innings, but don't take that for granted, guys. I don't want to be here till
I'm not.
2:30. No, but in all seriousness, if I have to come back there, but jokes aside, you do have some pictures, I believe, right?
I
Something
have-
you want to
I-
share?
Does.
I have a presentation I want to show because
All right.
I made a note.
Ooh, exclusive
I-
content, everybody.
Right, this is special. This is special because this is a special show, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now I just want to talk about, let's put you guys on the side because this is, or there we go, something like that. I don't, but as you know, I've been in the industry a little bit in the past, right?
Oh,
Television, radio, stuff
Mhm.
like that. Now,
Right.
this was me when I was trying out for the role of the Burger King. As you can see, I'm enjoying it. But I lost out to that guy had the mask. And, I had to talk to my agent. My agent was, I just gave reamed out. But, I was looking forward to that job because I love Burger King. I really do. And all that. So, this was when we were getting ready to do that Burger King commercial. And this is about the only thing they had of it. And then they told me to take a walk. Now, I was, for a while, I actually was helping out at Paramount. I was kind of a stand-in for William Shatner. And not only that, I was in one of the background characters. So here I was. They were getting
You
ready
lost
to
a lot
put
of
me in
weight for that role, though.
this is me when I was younger. This is me when I was younger. I was
okay.
I didn't pork out like
But-
that. So
Did you
I
do
mean-
your own stunts?
no, well, I was just kind of like a stand-in, and then of course, in the background and all that. But so it's like when they didn't need to have Shatner, they needed to have Shatner, but not Shatner. He's doing something with his toupee or whatever. There I was,
Okay.
and I was standing on the set, and and I had it was great walking on that set, and I had to thank my agent for that one. It was a different agent because that Burger King one was a lot after this one, and this agent, this was Hardekita Feinberg, Japanese Jewish lawyer, part-time sumo wrestler. He's the one that got me this job. I went to England for a while, and when I went to England, I tried out for the role of the master, and of course they had me dressed up, doing the shots. And they decided, no, I just didn't have the voice. I didn't have the presence to be the master. So I lost out. They called me back, though. They liked me so much. They had me try out for the role of the Sixth Doctor. And there I was. They even had the costume all ready. but I didn't have the voice. They said. And
Ay,
Colin
ay, ay.
Baker got the part. Colin Baker got the part. I was, I called up Hardekey of Feinberg. I was just heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. But because
I have this
what's wrong with your
feeling,
voice?
Baron. I have this feeling you were
Good
friends with
question.
Brian Williams. I really do. I have
With
this
who?
feeling. Brian
With who?
Williams.
Brian Williams.
Oh.
No, I never knew that guy. But here I was. But they did bring me back for the trial of the Time Lord. I was one of the Time Lords that sat in the
How
back.
did you get that
during
long
tri-
neck?
Well, it was there was a great chiropractor there, and boy,
Oh,
she knew how
okay,
to
okay.
stretch my neck out. So yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, but so I was one of the Time Lords that was in the back, and it's a little bit of camera work that they had with the angle and all that, make it look a little bit longer. But yeah, so
Okay.
when you watch the trial with Time Lord, I'm in the back there, and my job was just to turn around when
Oh,
the
okay.
video starts, and we didn't do
I
much.
hope
We
you
just
got
sat around.
enough paid though. Hope you got a decent paid.
BBC pays shit back then.
Ah.
Can I say that, by the way? Can I say that on the air, TJ? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
dude.
sorry.
You
Okay.
guys could say all kinds of profanity. I was going to ask you why. I guess it was many years ago when you auditioned to be the Doctor, so you couldn't simply identify as a person with a English accent. Like you could have done that
I
today.
tried. Yeah, I tried doing that, and they said no. And Colin Baker has that great voice. It's like, three eyes, one breath, makes you sound like a rather egotistical young lady. Changed.
This
Yeah,
is
but
this is some
but I got to work
serious
with Nicole.
CNN.
I got to work with Nicole Bryant. And I got to look down her top, and I tell you that was a magnificent view. I tell you. So when the He-Man movie was being cast, right?
You were ripped too.
I came back. Hardekey called me up and said, "Hey, I need to have you hit Lifetime Fitness." And I went there. I went through a full regime. I tried out for the Masters of the Universe. I tried out for Masters of the Universe. Unfortunately, Dolph Lundgren got it, and and I got mad because it's like I'm more buff than he was. Look at that.
Because he's Swedish. It's because he was
that's
Swedish.
exactly.
You were taking that steroid because you were talking to Arnold and you were like, "Hey,
shush you."
That's the point. It cost a lot of money to
wasn't-
get the steroid treatment. And what were you going to say, Mike? 'Cause I agree, though. Like
he wasn't talking to Arnold. He was talking to Jesse the Body Ventura.
That is who it is, because me and Jesse were tight at one time. And actually, I did work on it for real. I did work on some projects with Jesse Ventura, but that's beside the point.
that's actual real, right? That's
you're
not
not even
fake
pulling a leg.
news.
Yeah, no, with Jesse. Yeah, I was part of an air show, and Jesse was on the board of the air show. So I got to know him before he was governor. But the thing is, look how buff I is, and look how buff, not buff, Dolph Lundgren was. I should have had that part. I mean, look at that. Don't I
You
look
were
like
more
He-Man?
buff than him. You were a lot more buff than him. But
absolutely
he was
more buff.
Swedish, We had that
I'm
natural
Norwegian.
blonde hair.
In the United States, they have a thing against Norwegians. Don't come to Norway, Jace, because they discriminate against us. That's why we had to have the Sons of Norway started up, because
don't come to Norway. Okay.
don't come to the U.S. Don't come to the U.S.
Don't
If
come
you're
to
Norwegian,
Norway.
don't
I'm
come to
just
the
sitting here. And I'm just like,
I'll take what you said before. Don't go to Norway. Got it.
Yeah, don't go to Norway
Okay,
either.
so I don't live in Norway, apparently. I live in Sweden now.
Yeah,
You're svenska.
that explains a lot.
You're
So
from Sweden.
I actually see, Mike. I tried out for the part of Walter because the Coen brothers are from Minnesota, right? And Hardekey of Feinberg got a hold of him and said, "Hey, I got this Minnesota guy. You're a Minnesota guy." They flew me out, and of course, as you can see, I was a little heavier at that time.
Well,
you had to do that for the role,
you were
right?
trying to enjoy your coffee at a family restaurant.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, and
hope it was good coffee.
But the Coen brothers said, "Yeah, you look good. You look kind of the part, but you just don't really fit who we want for Walter." And of course,
Was it
they're
your
talking
voice
John
again?
Goodman. Well, no. I think it's more presence because take a look at John Goodman, for crying out. He's bigger than me. He's taller than me. They wanted someone who was taller, but they made a concession. They made a concession for me. That was nice. So they had me try out for Donnie. So there we are for screen testing. That's a screen test right there. Me doing Donnie. I actually got the part, except for one thing. The Coen brothers were in a poker game with Steve Buscemi. They lost big time to Steve Buscemi.
Are you allowed to even say this online?
Well, well, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm just dropping you what happened behind the scenes here. This
No
is Hollywood Babylon
NDAs and
guy.
all that.
No, it's long past, long past. This is from so long
Okay,
ago. I
okay.
can talk about it no matter what. NDAs only last for a year or 2 years. It all depends. But
Okay,
Steve
okay, okay.
Buscemi won big time. So part of the concession to pay him
Oh,
back
okay.
was to take the part. And they came up to me and go, listen, Baron, we really liked you as Donnie, but man, you work great with John Goodman and all that, but Steve Buscemi really has us by the balls. And
Ah,
So,
so, I was
so
like, well,
you're telling me that Gary from Pop Culture Minefield wasn't the first person to tell you to shut the f up?
right. Oh, I've been told that quite a bit, actually.
mm.
Yeah. I mean, Haraki of
Oh
Feinberg.
my!
That's how he ends the conversation with me. Just shut the fuck
We
up.
got a lot of
So
information here.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. But it was great being on there. I did meet Jeff Bridges, and I said how much I liked him in Tron. He goes, "Yeah, man, that's cool." This, and he was just mellow and
Sure.
lanky.
Okay.
Wait, he didn't say, yeah, well, that's like your opinion,
That's your
man.
your opinion, man. Yeah.
Well, he was trying to hit on
Oh
some
my god.
girl that they had hired on to play bowling over there, and she had
Mm.
some bowling balls, if you know what I mean. So
Oh.
yeah, he was distracted. So I was able to. We'll be seeing it in the coming up season when we have the
Ooh.
big war going on with Earth Force and all that. I was hired on to do a little guest star background character
Wait,
on
Oh.
Babylon 5 as one of the commanders and such like that. So when we watch Babylon 5, when we get the fourth season in some of the episodes, you'll see me in the background, and there I am. I
oh,
managed to.
what
I am
side were
not
you
impressed.
on?
I was.
I
I
am not
was.
impressed.
Yes,
Well,
I
I
am
was.
not impressed either.
I will be
was.
impressed
I was.
depending on his answer.
Well, I was on Clark's side. They had me playing the bad guy in this one.
Oh
You know
my
what?
god!
What
Me and
Aye, aye.
Garibaldi are gonna
What
be like fighting or
Well,
something. I don't know, man.
but
Like me
Jimmy
and
was great.
Garibaldi don't
problem is,
appreciate this.
Mike, is that he's a filthy non. He's a filthy
Yeah.
And one thing
Well,
I wonder, Baron, how was it to like lose weight, become buff, and then become big again, and then skinny again,
well,
and all that? How did?
a lot of us Hollywood people do that, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
What's
take
the
a look at
trick?
it. Well, you have a trainer.
hydroxy,
Yeah, you have a trainer.
Hydroxy.
Yeah,
hydroxy cut.
yeah, exactly. I mean, liposuction works just great too. I mean,
Oh,
wonderful.
goodness.
Underneath that was folds of skin, just to let you know. So, but of
I just
course, I
thought you
had
had a
that.
lot of girls you had fun with.
Well, that too. I mean, when you wear that uniform. I tell you, and they had some cute girls on the set of Babylon 5 there. So
I hope you
that was what I
behaved.
was. No, of course not. It's like,
Oh, that's probably
You,
why you.
you get
Aaron,
yourself a nice
behave.
Centauri
Come on,
girl.
Jake.
never,
You've known him long
no.
enough.
I mean,
Nah.
I'd love to get a
Baron
Centauri
Cafe.
girl with a bald cap.
Yeah. Well,
They
one of the
actually
girls
were
wasn't.
very
She
pretty.
shaved her head. There was one that actually did shave her head, and it
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It was
Michelle
like,
Barrett wore the cap, but yeah, there were a few. I've
yeah,
noticed. I can usually tell when they're wearing the skull cap. They'll wear that
yeah,
decorative, like
right.
headband around.
Yeah, but one of the girls actually went full, Perseus Gambade from, Ilea from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. So, yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, so she was really nice. So that was fun being on that show. Then, and remember that Star Wars Underground series that they were wanting to work on? Well,
Yep, yep.
I was part of that project. Unfortunately, people seen scenes that they had. This is one of the scenes that I was in.
Okay.
With it, and I was ordering people to go down to 1313, some stormtroopers and all that. It was a very small part. I was sad that the show didn't come about because I would actually had a little bit more bigger part. And
Yep.
of course, George took me aside. He said, you're doing great, but I hate to tell you this. About the fourth or fifth episode, you're going to die. And it's like, oh, I can handle that. No problem. Just don't make me
Yeah.
die like a bitch.
You know, Baron, you're doing great and all, but I just have to
Right.
tell you that we're probably going to kill your character in the third or fourth episode, so
Yeah.
don't get used to
That-
this.
Well, he didn't say don't get used to it, but say I hope you're having fun. He basically everything you said was about right, except I hope you're having fun. I said, George,
He took
it's
care of
okay."
you at least.
He did, and you know what? They had a hell of a setup for the buffet. They have for the
Oof.
food and the catering. Oh my God, Lucasfilm was probably the best for catering. That's where I started gaining some of my pounds back. You can kind of see that there. I'm kind of starting to get
Yep.
my a little more poundish back, and they had to take out that
Yeah.
uniform. Yeah, so. And then I did try out for The Witcher when Henry Cavill.
Oh.
Of course,
Yeah.
Hardekia Feinberg wasn't my agent at this time. It was a guy But then I had the guy that did the Burger King one. I got rid of him. This was another guy, and I did try out for the Witcher, but I was too short. I didn't have a, but they said, oh, you're okay. And basically, I lost out this brother of Thor.
They wouldn't let you
Thor.
wear heels like William Shatner, Robert De Niro, and Governor DeSantis. They all have something in common. They've all wore
And Tom
shoes
Cruise.
that elevate. And Tom Cruise, exactly. They wear elevator shoes. So was this
But,
not appropriate for the action scenes or something?
Yeah, stuff like that. They said
Oh.
it's just going to be
Ay, ay, ay.
easier if we went with with Helmsworth's brother. So I said, okay, well, it was
okay.
fun. At least I got I did get the publicity shot, and I was happy about that. Now, I was on the set of Oppenheimer.
Of course you were.
Right.
Oh.
I did start out with a scene in it, but I'll tell you, Christopher Nolan is a great guy, but I tell you, he's so much different as a director than we see in public. He's got more dapper, debonair in public, but when he's a director, he's got like the the low cut shirt in the front, couple chains, the sunglasses on. He kind of looks like one of those porn directors. Like, hey man, he's really cool. But we were filming the scene where the bomb went off, and he just got mad. I kept on going, USA, USA, you're out of here, and I lost the part. So, but but it was a nice little time on it. Of course, I did. This is a big secret. There's an NDA with this. I can't talk too much, but because
But now we have an NDA.
Well, a little bit of
it
a little
took
bit of
while.
an NDA, but I can sit back and say that Henry Cavill did see me when I tried out for The Witcher. So this is me testing out for the new Warhammer 40K series. I
Okay.
can't say anything more. But Henry said I can show this picture as kind of a teaser.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'll talk more about this later as time goes along.
Was
I
the
will be
armor
having-
heavy? Can you tell us if it was heavy to wear
Yeah,
that
it wasn't
suit?
that. No, it wasn't heavy at all.
Okay,
It's like
that's what I
foam
wanted
and
to know.
plastic, yeah, and and there's like a little cooling pack to keep you cool. So that's great. It's great, yeah.
Nice.
So, and that is my publicity shoulder. When I go out and send pictures out to the studios, this is the picture I send. So they know exactly what they're getting. This is me in California. Doing the
You
shots.
still have a little muscles there, I see.
Yeah, a little muscle. Hey, just because I'm fat doesn't mean I don't have muscles, man. When I was working hard on that, so yeah. So
but
that's
the
what I
muscles
set up.
did stick after you tried out for the other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Right, but this is not all about me. This is not all about me, honestly. I don't want to be an egomaniac. I don't want to take the show over and be about me. So this is Cash Money. He was, this is actually when Cash and I really met the first time. He was one of the stand-ins for Jimmy Doohan at one time. So there he
Wow.
is. Yeah, and
That's
he did a
pretty
good job,
cool.
except for one thing. They sat back and said, hey, Cash, just watch it with the chin. You're casting too much of a shadow. Even though he was just doing a stand-in. But you liked that, didn't you, when you were working there and with the people on there? You and the Shinokos seem to get along quite fine.
Nice.
Of course, yeah. And of course, he did try out. This is actually a comic book drawing because he was hired to do Han Solo for the Solo series. Believe it or not, Cash did. And they went so far that Marvel Comics did draw this scene with him as Han Solo. Of course, I don't know what happened, Cash. You never told me. I know it's the NDA, but obviously
they feel a little bit on the chin here, man. They're
Yeah.
missing a little bit on the chin here,
right.
man.
He had too much of a chin than Harrison Ford did.
It's too much more extra all over this. I mean, too much bleached blonde hair, too much
Yeah.
tight
Right.
jeans. I mean, unless you like that kind of thing, then it's very enjoyable for some, I'm sure,
Yeah, and I'm so sorry to hear that Cash lost on that. That was a great one, but he did play a Klingon.
Oh,
Look
nice.
how happy he is! Look at that. I mean, I'm sure Mike is absolutely just so jelly right now.
So
because he's got-
since he got the role, they used the beard and all that, so they don't. He does, because his chin power is too much.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't Klingon on the beard and all that. Made the beard look much more impressive. But look how happy Cash is. And he was the happy Klingon. He was
a really happy Klingon.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
crazy.
That is
look at
cool.
that. Yeah, and of course, that's when he tried out for for Vash the Stampede in the live action Trigun. So there he is.
I don't even know if
he's-
there has been a live action Trigun. I'd have to look.
I
into
know
that.
there's an NDA, man. You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what
I've had
happened with the
contacts.
chin? Like, where's the chin? Like, they went up. Not what's going
Well,
on here? Did they use
So,
CGI
wait.
to remove his chin or something?
It's kind of the angle. Yeah, it's still there. If you notice, but it's the angle of the camera and the lighting. You can still see the chin still there. But yeah, that's him trying with the Vash, and I'm sure he will tell us more about it.
You sure that's not from the Summer of Love photo set?
No. That's Vash Stampede, and yeah, I can't wait till that happens there. And of course, that's Cash's publicity photo right there.
Oh,
okay. He is Mr. California.
Look at that chin. Look at that
look at
chin.
that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm surprised we don't see more. There he is out there in California, and I just don't know why he doesn't get more parts and all that. But yeah, so. But Cash and I did run across each other. So yeah, that's my little show.
Looks like a Pixar picture.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it did.
Are you going to be in a Pixar?
You are 2-dimensional as far as being an animated character.
I guess so.
I mean,
Look at those eyes.
Like his skin, he like got no offense, respectful. I hope you're okay. It's like you got this gray stuff on your neck. Is this some kind of skin condition where your shirt blends into your skin and becomes permanently part of it?
I don't know what shirt that is.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know
like
either.
I don't know where the shirt begins or ends.
Well, I mean, I got that picture from his agent, so I don't know.
I always messing with.
I guess I was going to try out for a Pixar film soon.
I think so. I mean, like I said, there
probably
was
still NDA.
Yeah.
The
guy, your agent couldn't tell me what the hell was going on, man. So, but he was able to give me that picture. So I
see his hair is really thin in this picture. I see, it's almost fading, so it's a little thin. It's a little thin there.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
So, and that's my show. I mean, I hope you enjoyed that. That's a little bit of my career, and of course, a little bit into Cash's career. For this very special episode of DJ Ronnie G's Monday Show, with having all of us here like this. So I hope you enjoyed.
It was an honor and a delight, and it's my show.
Well, you don't want to put me there.
DJ Ronnie G. Show them that you are the DJ Tron.
So yeah, I hope you liked it.
Continue, please.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So that's all.
No, I did. I truly did enjoy that, and I'm glad you brought material because I barely did. Now, I did bring some material, but frankly, like I believe that you guys are going to carry a lot of stuff, and you guys sure as heck did. You guys made this a bang up time. That's what she said. And so I'm not going to ask you if you like Ursula Le Guin or not. But do you like Ursula Le Guin?
Who's that?
Okay, you don't know. Okay, good. I was just kind of some random sci-fi author. I don't know. I saw a guy doing a video about her or some crap like that. And two,
Ursula Le Guin?
Le Guin? Yeah, is it Le Guin?
Ursula Le Guin?
Yeah, Le Guin. Yeah, her.
Le Guin.
Yeah, Le Guin. Oh, Le Guin.
I haven't really read her. Yeah, I haven't really read her.
Okay.
But yeah, Le Guin. Yeah.
Would you? Okay. Well, if you read her, I was gonna ask her if you recommend her. But if you haven't read her, I guess I'll just maybe look at a review. I don't know. It looks a little cerebral. Like
yeah. From what I understand, her work is a little on the cerebral side. Yeah, but I haven't read it. Her stuff isn't really my stuff. So
I'm worried it's gonna be some commie hippie dippy stuff. So that's like kind of where I would kind of be standoffish. T-Gap Steve says, just don't ask about the crypto coin. Don't ask crypto coin what happened in Prague. So I did like a cursory Google search.
Prague.
Yeah, Pragu. I believe it's Pragu.
Pragu. Are you sure about that?
I know I'm a very good English scholar. I'm definitely sure it's Pragu.
Pierogi?
It's just like the Italian sauce Ragu.
I see.
But jokes aside, I don't know. It looks like some drama or something. I mean, it's an NBC article. It's some guerrilla artist. So apparently there's a guy who's a guerrilla who's an artist, and he did something to a building. And I was hoping there would be like a picture that would just sum it up, But there isn't.
Yeah.
But I do want to say hi to the Peter Venkman fan site. But also, since you're here, you're near Prague. I'm sorry. How do you say that again? Prague. Okay. So you're near Prague. So you must know what's going on over there, Jason. You must. You don't know. Okay, I tried. But anything else, Mike? You got anything on your mind, man? I don't want to, and I'm perfectly happy that, like, someone in chat said that you guys are bogarting, which I think is like when people like sharing a cigar and one or two people like hog the cigar. I'm grateful you guys bogarted tonight. Actually, I had a great time listening to you guys talk. And if you guys, well, we'll talk after the stream, but definitely appreciate your presence here. And let's see here. So,
Well, you know what we're like.
oh yeah. I'm learning all right now. I'm kidding, but I had a good time. Actually, I do want to also mention
it's just a thing when I come onto someone else's channel, I respect it so much that it's their channel that I gauge the room, and some of the shenanigans I pull on Pop Talk won't be pulled on someone else's stream.
I should have given you carte blanche at the beginning of the stream. I know you wouldn't do anything like too insane to get me like in trouble. Like I know you wouldn't just show like bloody massacres on the screen. So like I trust you in that regard, right? So yeah. In the future, you're welcome to like do interject anything you want. And if I get offended, I'll just let you know after the fact. I'll be like, oh,
he will just go on Twitter and cancel you like everyone else.
Right?
know?
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, I was kind of like
Twitter
Twitter
war.
shirt and blocking all of us.
Yeah,
I never even interacted with the
that's
guy.
great, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I came on here being me because I know that's what DJ wanted. Was he wanted me? So that he got me. Yeah.
Word. And yeah, it's a blast. And
Careful.
with you guys created a large chat. You guys created a large chat. That's an interesting way to word it. So many messages to read, so I'm not going to read them all. But I'm trying to think if there's anything like that pops out at me. But no, I'm really glad everyone dropped by. And let's see what else here. Anything else any of you guys want to add? Anything on your mind? I mean, I didn't really share anything, but I'll just tell you, like I said, if there's anything popping on Wednesday, I will share a community post. And if it's next Wednesday, I will share a community post at that time. So keep an eye on my channel for that. And if we ever do a collab like this again, we'll definitely get our things together in case you want to multicast to your channels. But right now, it looks like I'm hogging all of the watch hours, so they're mine. It's a lot of watch hours.
Excellent, DJ Rology. That's right. You've been watching my Transformers stream, my impression of Megatron. You have followed the school of Megatron. All these watch hours are mine, and not Baron Screams, not Cash Wave, and certainly not Jasimus Prime.
Jasimus Prime, wow.
So how much cigarette packs have you smoked to get that voice?
No, it's you know what it is. It's listening to Frank Welker's version of Megatron, whether it be his Generation
I don't believe
1.
you. I just think you're smoking a lot of packs before you do that.
Well, it's like
No, really. When I do my impression of Megatron or do my impression of Optimus Prime, it's listening to how Frank Welker does it, whether it's Generation 1 or Transformers Prime, or how Peter Cullen does it, whether it's Generation 1 or
they probably smoke a lot of cigarettes themselves.
I do prefer to do their Generation 1 versions of their characters as opposed to their Transformers Prime. Not that they're not good. They're very good. It's just Generation 1 versions of the voices are what I grew up with, and that's what I try to imitate each and every time.
Yeah. You do a good job, though.
You do.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So when I work on this other project, I have to do a voice changer because I'm going to be imitating a different character, maybe a robot. And so, I have to do like a little minor voice change. It's going to be very mild, but that's sort of what I have in store there. What about you guys? Jason, do you have any streams in store for this week?
Well, yeah. We have a stream tomorrow called Fivecast. No, not Fivecast. We have multiple shows. The Beyond tomorrow, or today, because I live in the future. I need to remember that. So I'm already on Tuesday. So today we have the Beyond show where we're going to talk about pop culture and stuff that we normally do. And Wednesday, of course, then we have Fivecasts. We're continuing with some other articles and stuff like that, of course. And it's the Fivecast is a little bit earlier on the day because that's normally when Prismatics is awake and he doesn't fall asleep during a stream. And we have a lot of other stuff that we are working on that I'm excited to announce at some point. That's going to be really fun. Also, I'm working really hard with some music that I hopefully will get to release this year or next year. It's some rap music, some black metal music. It's a little bit different kind of stuff. And I will probably go on a break on Thursday, so there will probably not be a Thursday show because I'm gonna tattoo the sides of my head. So I'm fully bald right now. I'm clean shaved and all that kind of stuff. So I feel weird being clean shaved on the top of my head because I normally never do that. But I'm gonna tattoo the sides of my head for some hours on
So
Thursday.
you're gonna finally get that Pacific 414 tattoo.
Not yet,
Oh,
and that's not gonna be on my
no.
head.
God,
One,
no.
two.
No,
No.
this is the Phantom Hooligan one he's putting on this side.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh
No,
no.
so I'm gonna spend some hours with my tattoo artist, and he's gonna tattoo the sides of my head, and they're gonna be big tattoos. So I'm really excited to show them when they're done. I just know I'm gonna have a goddamn fucking headache after I'm done with that. But
Like,
I'm
how
not
does
feeling
that
sorry
work?
for you.
Like, it's like is it the pain receptors causing like tension in that part in that wraps
It's
around the
well,
head?
well, for me, I don't feel pain when I tattoo. I normally fall asleep or I'm reading a manga or comic. I don't feel shit when I get a tattoo. So I might fall asleep, but when you have a needle on your skin with the head all the time for hours, it's gonna be a banging in your head. So
Well, I got a
it is a
solution to
reaction.
that. So in the medieval times, hang on, there's a thing. I think that this will help. Let me find it for you real quick. Okay, good. I think I found it.
He's
Okay,
all
good.
over
So
me.
we're gonna solve your problem for you right now. So what you're gonna need is like a special tool. They used it during medieval times, I believe, and it's called trepanning or tripening. So if you get that headache, just get
Yeah,
the
just
one that
do
looks like
that.
a corkscrew. Make like 1 or 2 holes. They were gonna do this in Star Trek 4, but Dr. McCoy showed up with his futuristic AT-AT walker device to relieve Chekhov's headache.
Yeah.
But if not for that, I'm sure this would have worked because we use this in medicine today. I believe. I believe it's the exact
Yeah.
same one. I'm sure they don't have a
Really?
more modern technology than this. So
No,
yeah,
no,
I recommend it.
I'm just gonna stick with drinking beer and mead. That
That would
works
work
every
too.
time. That works every
Yeah.
time. But other than that, I just
You
want
know,
to say this was real fun being here. I'm excited to do more stuff with you. We talked about doing 101, and I'm really excited to do that, and talk about some filming and editing and other stuff like that. I think would be really cool. And like I always say before we're gonna wrap up shows, life's too short, make the most of it. And we on this panel, we appreciate you, everyone out there, because none of us would have been here today if it wasn't for you guys out there. You guys inspire us every day to continue doing what we're doing, and we're grateful from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you everybody for giving us the love and support and watching our nonsense and craziness every time we do stuff. Just it means the world to us, and thank you for the inspiration. Just
It does.
thank
It
you.
does. And real quick, I'm gonna work around the table, but that was a good ending right there, man. About the soundbite that replayed at the end. But jokes aside, and that was good though. Before I go to Cash, Bucky's Crafting says, places usually prefer if you don't fall asleep during stuff like that. They think you passed out or worse. But I guess your tattoo artists are cool, so they're not gonna like tap you on the shoulder like, "Wake up, bro."
Oh no.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't pass out.
Well, that sounds good. And then what about you, Mr. Cash Monet? Monet? That's French now. But seriously, Cash, do you have anything planned for the coming weeks, days, months, or years?
Yep. Well, right now I've got I'm close to finally finishing Ratchet and Clank. I've been putting a lot of time into that, so I'll be finishing that this week. Then I want to start Dishonored, and then on Friday, I'm gonna try to get an Among Us stream, and I'm hoping we can get about 8 or 10 people, and
Well,
that'll
join us,
be at
Johnny.
6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, Mike's
Yes.
time. Now, what is
Yeah.
Among Us about? Because I played it once and I was kind of confused. I wanted to fly the spaceship, and I don't think that's the premise of the game at all.
No.
So what's going on here?
No, it's basically a whodunit kind of thing. So you have two
Yeah.
imposters, and then you have
You can
to
have 2, 3. It depends on how
Mhm.
many players you
Right.
are, and
then
you have
you
one
got to check
imposter.
who could be it. You might
Yeah, and it's really fun
check
because
the
you
wrong
can have
people. It can be a fun game.
shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have shapeshifters
Yeah.
and trick people. I think the shapeshifter is
can-
the most coolest thing because you shapeshift to one of the players who are not the killer, and people, if
Mm.
they see you kill, they think it's the other person, and you'd have to,
Oh,
and then you have to talk and like defend yourself, like where you were and all that, and see who believes you, and if they if they kick out the wrong killer, there's still killers there. But it's really fun. It's a really
So
fun
it's
concept.
like a game of Clue in space.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You got
Yeah.
it.
All right, that sounds good.
And-
I mean, that does sound potentially good.
Yeah,
And I always vote for
you-
Cat Phil. I always vote for
Yeah,
Phil.
right. But
Alrighty, well, definitely
anybody
check out
who-
that.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. So if we get
We
enough people, you
believe-
need at least 8. You need at least 8 to 10 because people have tried it with 6 and 7. It doesn't work as well. You need.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. I literally thought you could play it with like 2 people or 8 people, but that kind of makes sense based on what you're describing and based on what I heard. And side note, I saw a video. This girl modified her 3D printer. She added like extra rails to it, so instead of it being like this tall, she made her 3D printer 10 feet tall, and she printed one of the Among Us guys, but 10 feet tall. It looked really absurd. And then going around the circle here, we got Mike at Pacific 414. Do you have anything? I'm sure you do have something planned this week. What do you got?
Well, I uploaded 2 videos. I took cutscenes from War for Cybertron and uploaded that.
It was really
and
cool.
then took the cutscenes from Fall of Cybertron and uploaded that. But what I did is I created my own title font using the Generation 1 Transformers title
Mhm.
font
I
that
saw
I
that and I
downloaded.
loved it. You did it so well. I'm proud of you, Mike. I loved it.
And then I took the Generation 1 transitions where you see the Autobot and Decepticon symbol flip around to show which side that it's going to next. Well, I added that into both videos, but tomorrow I'll be continuing Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. And then Wednesday will be Pacific 4 Pop Talk. Now, for those of you who watch it on the YouTube side, it won't show up right away on the YouTube side as far as being a scheduled stream because we'll be using Rumble Studio. And for some reason, when you finalize the scheduled stream over on Rumble Studio, even when you select YouTube as one of the places you're going to broadcast it to, it'll only show it on the Rumble side. It won't actually show it on the YouTube side until you hit go live. I don't know why, but it does that. And
yeah, that's a weird. Like, I'm personally, I gotta revisit. I want to revisit Rumble, but when I start a stream, like, I can use the same stream key when I'm doing like a solo stream for YouTube. But every time I do Rumble, I find I have to finagle. I might be doing something wrong, but I find I have to go to Rumble, copy the template, copy the code, go back to the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an extra rigmarole, and I just didn't want to bother. But you're doing it differently. You're going through Rumble Studio, which is gonna be pushing it out to YouTube from Rumble. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if you're, setting up on StreamYard, like you said, a lot of times, and excuse me for that, but a lot of times you'll schedule it and it'll pop up on the YouTube side. But again, you have to copy and paste everything that you wrote. And put it on the Rumble side. Make sure that you have the stream key URL properly copied, and then the stream key properly copied. And even then, I've had times where for some reason it doesn't start transmitting. So it's like, okay, during the middle of the show, in the beginning, there have been many a times where I've had to recopy everything while the show's still live. And then I'm holding my breath, looking at the Rumble side going, come on, work.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Well, it's good to know. Well, we got both. For anybody watching right now, we have both links for the War for Cybertron, all of the cut scenes, as well as the Fall of Cybertron, back-to-back links right up here. So you all can check that out right after this ends and not a moment sooner.
And the only other thing I have coming up on the channel is I'm going to be resuming Cuphead on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And, that stream, Pop Talk, and tomorrow's stream are all at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, I'll be with Baron and Cash on Friday and on Saturday on their respective channels.
Yep. And we got right here, you can see Mike's channel on the right and, on my right, your left. And you can see we got the Cuphead stream. So if you go to, Mike's channel using one of the other links, you can see his live tab. And, that Cuphead game, is so... I haven't played it, but I just love how it looks like a 1930s cartoon, and I don't know. It's I like the way I just like the way they did the artwork in that game, and it also
Yeah,
looks like it
I-
doesn't lag. You know, it looks comfortable to play.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It sounds-
I actually watched a making of video on how they went about making it. Everything that you see is hand drawn.
Oh, that explains a bit. So it's not
And
like
they
a
took
bunch of vector art.
True. It's
No,
really
no,
cool.
it's all hand drawn, and they took a lot of inspiration from early Disney shorts. You know, the Flasher shorts, Betty Boop and Popeye, and
Mhm.
you know, all those animated shorts that used to be shown in movie theaters before the main movie
Interesting.
from back in the 1930s.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a good technique. You know, I did see this like video showing how they used to do like the music in theaters. So when you go to see a cartoon back in the day, you'd go to a like, you know, in the 1930s, you go to a local theater, and it looks like a piano, but it's got like multiple things. You got a horn, you got bells, you got the kazoo, you got the thing that makes the woo. You know, so the idea is that like you're in a theater,
Mhm.
all they have is a roll of film, but they need to do all of the sound effects to go with that cartoon. So the guy playing that piano will play all the music. It'll play that like, you know, fast-paced piano music that they play when someone is running around on the screen. And I don't know, it's a real one of these days. I'll play that video on stream. It's a real thrill to watch the guy play the. I don't even know what it's called. I just know it's the musical instrument that makes the sound effects for old cartoons. And anything else you want to add, Mike? Any other thoughts?
No, that's it for this week.
Excellent. We'll pass the torch over to Mr. Baron Orman-Tag, which, by the way, I gotta say, I remember you used to have this intro on your show, and I'm thinking about intros because I need an intro. As you saw, I just start my streams like raw. I just go like, "Hey guys, we're live." So, I remember you had this cool thing where it was the Milky Way galaxy, and you know, just played this like very, you know, dreamy space music. Do you still use that, or have you ceased using that for now?
I have ceased using that one for now. I got a different one I've been using, but I may use that again. I kind of stopped a little because it is long. It goes about 3 minutes or so, but you know, it's
Yeah,
the
it could be a bit
countdown and
long.
stuff like that. So I've been using something a little bit different, but I still have it in my files. So it's
One thing
gone
I think I
nowhere.
might do, I'm glad you mentioned that it's 3 minutes long because I noticed some of the people, like I watch a guy named Clobber in Times, and he'll play like
Yeah,
a lot
Clobber.
of crap at the end. Yeah, Clobby is a real gentleman and fun, you know, discussions and whatnot. He's been covering Star Trek Voyager on Saturdays, so I haven't really been staying up late on a work night to follow Voyager. But when he goes on to Enterprise, basically they've been doing the the 735 Club, or how many episodes of Star Trek is there from every, you know, good series? About 700 and something. So
Something
they call
like that, yeah.
It's 735 from the original series all the way to Enterprise.
There we go. So he's in the 735 Club, and basically they went from reviewing the original series to, you know, DS9, and I started following the channel when they were covering DS9, and they're going to do Enterprise right after this. So I mean, that's the one I'm looking forward to. You know, Voyager has its wins and losses, but you know, I'm not like in a rush to rewatch it. I watched it like 2.5 years ago. I'm good right now on Voyager. You know. But the reason I mention that is because I think that Milky Way galaxy thing, something like that. Like if I wanted to maybe put something on the end of my show, I would maybe look for something like that, because maybe like 3 minutes at the beginning is too long, but something at the end that's like 2-3 minutes long is sort of a way to, like, you know, get a good wrap up going, make sure people get the links. But anyway, what else do you have in store this week?
Well, I can send you the raw video for that. I can send you the raw video.
Oh, I mean, if you want to share, I'm not looking at. I didn't want to steal it or take it, but I mean,
No,
I
you
mean,
can.
I would love to
We're friends.
actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would love to use that. Actually, I think I could find a use for that.
Yeah, I mean, we're friends, right? I think we're friends, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
hope
I
so.
certainly keep up the pretense. Yeah. But jokes aside, yeah, no, I most certainly would appreciate that, because I don't know how much I would use it, but as you already saw, I just described how I would use it. So actually, if I had that video, that's exactly how I would try to use it. I would see if it, you know, worked the way I want, maybe trim it down, or maybe do some adjustments to it. I don't know, you know, just play around with it. But
that's what I did with it. You know, there's different ones. I just clipped it together. So yeah, you can just edit it any way you want. That's no problem. There's no sound to it. You can have whatever music you want. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some stock audio or something I could put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's real fun to create your intros, because you might have one thing in mind, and then as you're creating it, you do something, and it might be by accident, and you actually look at it and go,
Just evolve
"You know what?
something.
That works. That works."
You're just evolving to something amazing. Just like, oh shit, this actually is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I had to confess, I was slightly impressed with his. Like, wow, I did that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool.
but but as
And
for
what else do you?
me,
Mhm.
oh sorry, oh
Oh,
you're
no,
saying
yeah, you're literally answering the question. Go for it.
oh okay. So yeah, for me, basically, I'm hanging out with the other two Stooges and probably tagging along
Watch
somewheres
it,
with
you.
the yeah. And then we got the fourth stooge up there,
Yes.
Shemp or Curly or whoever he is. But yeah, I'll be, of course, with various programs. But we do have our Babylon 5 stream, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on the Fandom Legacy, my channel, Saturdays. So we'll be finishing up season 3 next week here, this Saturday. And then we'll get ready for all the fun that happens in season 4. So that's the exciting things. And
Yeah.
I've been getting myself geared up to do my 5 minute ones. I usually do about 3 5 minute ones. Yeah, videos I used to do. So just I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So hopefully that'll happen soon.
Interesting.
I'm not as exciting as the other people. That's why I do that show. I just show people that I did do stuff at one time. So yeah.
Now, real quick.
And as I've said many times, Baron, if you need any help with anything, just ask me and I'll help you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I know. I'm not scared. He was the one that helped out with my opening for the Babylon 5 stream. So
Oh, that's
that
a
was
good one.
great. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful. So I like that. And yeah, that's just it. I think we all work together. We work hard together. We want to see
Yep.
each other succeed. We don't want to watch our the people that we like and we think do a good show fail. So yeah.
Exactly. We're a
Mhm.
family.
But
standing
we
together.
also don't want to get our heads so far up our keisters that we
Mm-mm.
can't see straight.
Oh yeah,
Right.
completely.
hmm Too late for me, as you can see from that slideshow. But that's beside.
Yeah, that's another case. But yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's a
love
different
you.
case.
We love you. So
Thank
it's
you,
fine.
Jace. Thanks, Jace. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta talk to my agent though. So that's me. That's the most boring old me. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I'm a nobody.
You are somebody, you motherfucker.
I'm a thumbuddy. Thumbuddy. Be my thumb buddy.
You're not a nobody, Baron. You're Baron Orman Tag. You're someone who's a
Z.
great friend.
You are my
to...
Tom from Wish, so you are somebody.
And you're
Yeah.
And you know what? And actually, Jace is going to come out. He's going to admit that he really is Andre. He's not Andre from Wish. This is his alternate, alternate personality.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah,
Seems
I
about
just
right.
use a voice changer every time.
Yeah.
But Baron, you're someone that we all consider a great friend. You're someone who
Yeah,
is
Baron.
very
Why not?
knowledgeable
Your
when
family.
it comes to many TV
You are,
shows,
dude.
movies, books, you name it.
I'm glad we're able to
You
help
pull
each
it right
other.
out of your hat.
That includes
Mhm.
you too, DJ Ronnie G. Like you're doing some
Yeah.
good stuff, man. And you got some cool
Yeah.
shit.
We're all a
out,
big
so-
family. All a
Mhm.
big
Yeah.
We are.
family. That's
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
are.
When you come into the chat, DJ, I know we're all going turtles, and nerd, but you're a
Nerd.
great guy, brother.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're cool. And there they. Oh, look at the turtle. Hi, turtle. How are you?
Potato. Yeah.
Let me out. Let me out.
That's right.
Attica.
I think he muted
Come on,
himself.
Dad, I want out.
Did he mute himself again?
He
It's
might have
7
muted
before.
himself.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
tell you.
Did I mute myself? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I just
So-
heard you say, man.
I see you're wobbling your hands and just like.
How
what
long
is
have I
he
been
saying?
muted?
For a little bit.
I-
dude, a little bit.
Since
Like,
you showed the
is that
turtle.
why I felt like I couldn't be heard? Okay, so anyway, but no, this is from egg laying season, and I remember I posted on Instagram, and this girl was like, "Oh, you keep them in cages?" I'm like, well, one, like I'm thinking to myself, what do you like? Well, why not keep them in cages? But two, no, it's not a cage. This is so they don't climb out and bite each other's tails off because that's what it separates them from each other. It's like a vertical wall. It's like they can climb the wall. So I put a T-shaped wall on top of it, like to stop them from going over. But also, you don't want to come home to a massacre between two turtles. And I don't want to, come home and have to look under my TV. Like I've spent like 30, 40 minutes at a time looking for these guys before. So
what
that's
I
why-
think, DJ, is that person's ignorant and stupid. That's what I think.
Well,
And
you know
they
who's
have
really
to
ignorant?
say-
You're ignorant.
You know who's really ignorant? The person who told me I don't know. When I said that I have 2 female red-eared sliders, they're like, "How do you know they're a girl?" Like, what do you mean? Like, they were seriously trying to push the T thing. I was like, they laid eggs. This is how I know they laid eggs. That is a female turtle. Like, they have no concept.
But do you know what they are identify as?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, as a turtle, they identify as I like food and I like more food. Oh, and they also identify as I like shrimp.
No, I like
You hear
shrimp
that,
too.
people? You hear that, people?
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have a lot in common with turtles. We like shrimp. They like shrimp. We can eat lettuce. They can eat lettuce. Yeah, no, we got some in common. Yeah, they have kidneys. We have kidneys. But I digress. But it's true. They have. You go look at an X-ray of a turtle. They got everything. But real quick, I do want to touch on the chat. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank the Peter Venkman fan site, Pacific 414. I know you're here right now in the panel. Also, thanks for being in the panel. Whooper Trooper, the Imperator of Wupstotska, Bucky's Crafting, and if your male turtle is laying eggs, you have a bigger problem to deal with. Oh, that's a pretty good quote right there. I also want to thank Hunty. I want to thank Never Said It Would Be Easy, Just Worth It Entertainment. I want to thank Lady Mist for being one of the first people, possibly one of the first or the first to show up, alongside James, who is also one of the first to show up for this stream. Did David Glenn show up today? We'll have to send him an angry letter in the mail. No, I'm joking. He's a cool dude, though. And I think that covers almost everyone. If I missed anyone, feel free to say hi in the chat. Otherwise, I still bid my eternal gratitude for you attending tonight's live show, as I do to the rest of you panelists here.
Well,
And
I want to thank you for inviting us, brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, I wanna
appreciate it.
thank you, man. This was really fun, man.
A lot of
This was,
fun,
you
man.
know, a
Let
top
us
10
take over.
stream. One
Have
of the best streams
all
for
this
a while,
chaos.
man. It's
Yeah,
really
this
fun.
is great. This is a great one.
Great,
Well, it's
great
great. I hope
panel,
I keep
great,
getting better
great
at
don't-
this.
host.
Don't tell Mike. This was even more fun than Pop Talk, but don't tell Mike.
I'd say
good.
that might be a hard one to top there, but I mean, I appreciate the I appreciate you guys.
He was waiting. He was waiting.
You forget
he's-
there,
He's thinking
DJ
extinction
granted
to
me
all
the
predators.
power.
Yep. Oh.
So, yeah, same here.
No, really?
But again, DJ, you know, thank you for having us on and creating this amazing fun stream too, that we could just talk about stuff together and, you know, just having a lot of fun.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I had a blast with all of you guys. And with that being said, any other thing you guys want to add? Nothing too exhaustive, hopefully, before I do my conclusion statement to conclude the stream.
The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie. All right. So you heard it from here. You heard it here first. The cake is a lie. And I don't know if we're talking about cake or butt implants, but butt implants are fake. You can usually tell when, like, first you're thinking, oh, that's a nice butt. Then you realize, wait a second. Like, it's just too much in one area. And the girl is not fat, but yet the butt is fat. And it's like, I just wonder, like, what it looks like on an MRI machine. Like, what color does silicone padding look like on an MRI machine? Does it come up blue?
I have touched a fake butt, so I know how it feels, and I don't like
please,
it.
briefly describe, actually, before I wrap up, I genuinely want to hear this. This is scientific.
How am I gonna explain that? Sometimes it feels like a rock. It's like really hard. And when it's like the implants, they can turn around. I've seen that happen with people. They can turn around. Yeah, that's certain implants they can do. And when they push stuff in there, it feels really weird. It's hard to explain. You have to like experience it.
And would you say, like, during the seasons, like winter versus summer, it might have a different consistency? Have you had an opportunity to compare that?
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sometimes it feels
It just
like a
doesn't
nut,
feel great. You know,
sometimes it don't.
fake lips, fake boobs, fake ass don't feel great. It doesn't feel great.
Okay, fair enough. That's good to know. And I've heard other things that I'm not going to go into detail on right now about the fake boob technology, but I appreciate learning about that. They can flip around. My theory is that the silicone would have a different like density depending on if it's warm or cool, because it's not like the rest of the body. It doesn't generate its own heat, right? But I digress. With that being said, I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I want to thank these fantastic panelists. We have their links in the chat. You just have to scroll up. If I'm not lazy, I'll add it to the description tomorrow, along with a thank you note for last week's stream where Zanzotan and Raquel SSG 2211 also showed up. I never posted a thank you post, but I think they deserve one because we had a blast last week. If you did not see last week's show, I humbly ask you to consider checking it out. You may or may not be entertained. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, leave a comment below. And for now, we shall end transmission on my mark.